I'm Margaret Ostrander, and my birthday is December 19th, 1925. Tuesday I'll be 98 years young.
Oh my gosh, you hide it so well.
Well, thank you.
Really?
I got a job. I didn't have to look for it. Don Livengood asked me if I would be secretary for a few hours a day. So, did you know Don Livengood?
I did.
Mm-hmm. And
you're very active in the Masons.
Yes. And so I worked 3 hours a day for Don. Then the next year, Don left, and Charlie Dorman became the secretary, and I worked for him. And he made me full-time. So that was...
full-time where at the...
At the consistory.
Consistory, yeah.
The Scottish Rite, actually. It was consistory, commandery, and I was secretary for the Shriners, too.
So you're right there on corner of Prendergast and 4th Street.
Where you are now.
The Jackson Center.
14 years. I could tell you a lot about that.
Well, I actually want to know a lot about that because things happen in the consistory that I've only heard stories about.
Well, they're not stories.
Okay.
No. I don't know if I should say this on camera or not.
Well, it's up to you. It's up to you.
But it is haunted, definitely, and very much so.
So you had experience when you were alone, probably as secretary there?
Oh, yeah.
Where you heard things?
Many, many times, things that are not just imagination. I could name so many. And, for instance, one time I was, Dick Corbin had a room upstairs, and I was doing something up, I was up there during my lunch hour playing the piano. He had a piano up there. This was the front room.
Oh, okay.
Upstairs on the second floor.
Got it, okay.
And I was playing the piano, and I turned around, and the rocking chair that was over there was going like this.
Oh my gosh.
And there was nobody in the room. And another time, I had something to do that had to be done before I left, so I went up, and Richard had a better typewriter or something. I can't remember exactly why I was up there. But I was seated at his desk, and up on the wall behind was one of those old-fashioned clocks that had the things that went like this in it, you know, and that clock hadn't run for years. And I was just sitting there, and I heard this click, 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 and I thought, well, what is that? And it didn't scare me. I just went on with what I was doing, and pretty soon I heard it again, and I looked, and that clock was going. And that hadn't run for years, so don't tell me there wasn't something there. And it ran after that.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a lot of things. And then my my daughter and son-in-law were coming back from, he was in the Navy too, and he was being discharged from Portsmouth, Rhode Island. And so they were going to live in the apartment up there that had been the servants' quarters to be watchmen for the building. And so I went through and papered and painted it and got it all nice for them. And when I was doing the stairway that went down from the second floor down into it's a little bit of a dip. Well, you've probably been all through it. In that stairway, I was painting the molding down the side of the stairway. And boy, this cold, cold air just comes sweeping over me. There weren't any windows open or anything anywhere. But it had to be a spirit of some kind. And then when John and Marty Fuchs took it over after they left, And during the night, well, the first time, there was a bat got in their bedroom. And poor John, he was scared to death of bats. So that was one thing. And then one time during the night, there was a little room off, before you got down those stairs, off to the side where they had a washer and dryer. And during the night, the washer and dryer started going.
Oh,
And John and Marcy left. They bought a house somewhere on Windsor Street.
yeah. I interviewed John, and he mentioned some things like that. That's interesting.
And yeah, he was a guy. And I also did the reservations for the shoestring players when I was at the consistory.
So you worked with Dick.
Yeah.
Dick Corbin, yeah. Wow. Well, then you have a lot of experience there. And so when did you start working at the consistory? Do you remember when?
Well, it was when Don Livengood was there, and it was 61, I think.
Okay.
I was there 14 years, and I left in 78, so.
Fascinating, because of course where you worked at the Scottish Rite Consistory for the camera became in 2000 the Robert H. Jackson Center,
Right.
and a lot of rehabilitation has occurred since then.
I had many, many friends there. The gentlemen that came in there were so nice to me. And Carlton, his brother.
William Winchester.
Right.
Carlton and William, yeah.
Right. They were good friends. But you know, I couldn't be on jury duty because I knew too many judges and lawyers, and they wouldn't let me be on jury duty.
Well, they all belong to the Scottish Rite Consistory. They're master masons and then up there.
Right.
Wow, I'm talking to history here. I got to ask one question. Is on what would probably be the third floor in the middle, there was a room which looked like a ballroom.
Yes.
What was that? Was it a ballroom?
It was a ballroom.
Was it?
Yes, it was. And later on, they had a billiard table in there.
Upstairs?
Upstairs, and there were lights hanging from the ceiling. I remember that. I didn't spend too much time up there because that area was very spooky.
Yeah, well, even when we bought it, we weren't quite sure. But clearly it was designed in black. It was, at the time, it was pretty dark. And we weren't quite sure what it was, other than it was very open. We assumed it was a ballroom.
Mm-hmm. It was a ballroom.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.